Welcome into my chill, 10-minute daily training challenge for flicks. This training challenge will be a masterclass of sorts that will help you improve your flicks with just a little time and some consistency. Episode 1 here is just going to be the basics of flicks itself. To do this series effectively, I do recommend you have trained and are comfortable with dribbling, at least a little bit. If not, I do have a 30-day dribble challenge too, so maybe do that and then this one. Anywho, let's get into it. Alright guys, here we are into our flick 30-day training challenge. Should be a good one. Today we're going to be doing mostly just the, I guess you'd say the basics and kind of just some of the ideas behind flicks. And we'll be playing around with some different types of flicks. And it's going to be a chill training environment, so maybe grab yourself something to drink, soda, cup of tea, cup of coffee, something like that. I myself have a drink here as well. And we're going to be just kind of training in tandem, training together, and I'll be explaining some of my thoughts, some of the ideas behind some of the flicks, and just little things like that. First and foremost, it's really important to be able to just kind of follow the speed of the ball, like so. It's really important for flicks because you want to make sure you're following the pace of the ball when you go for your flick, or else you're going to have some like weird sort of things happen. If you're going too fast, sometimes you'll flip like under the ball, like so. And if you're going too slow, obviously the ball's gonna fall off the nose of your car. And that's kind of how you get into different flick positions too, because if you want to go a little bit faster, you can carry the ball on your butt. That way you can flick it up with like a backflip flick sort of situation. Or you can carry it on your nose for like more of like how Moxie does his flicks, Each flick's going to be a little bit different on where we have the positioning of the ball, so it's definitely going to be important for you to just kind of play around with different ways of carrying the ball, different ways of flicking the ball, being comfortable flipping to the left like that, be comfortable flipping to the right. And that's kind of what today is. We're just kind of playing around with some different ways to flick, not necessarily working on any particular flick, but just kind of getting the basics of it down here. This is episode 1 after all. This is going to be pretty basic as far as flicks go. As for the rest of the series, I'm just going to kind of keep talking while I'm working on my flicks over here. But the way we're going to kind of format this is each video is going to be like based around a particular flick. If I can't do the flick myself, I will make sure I get a video of someone doing the flick, and then we'll just kind of be breaking down the flick. Sometimes we might need to not necessarily have the ball with us for the beginning parts. Like for example with the breezy, sometimes it's easier to practice the motion without the ball because the ball just kind of complicates everything. But after you get used to it, after you get used to the motion, it's a lot quicker. So it's kind of the style we'll be doing with this training. We'll be talking just really quickly about how to do it, the little intricacies and the movements that we need, and then we'll just be kind of sitting in here together. I'll be kind of explaining my thought process. I'll be explaining little things like if I'm noticing I'm getting more power based off of like a delay, or where my nose is in relation to this little circle under the ball, like little things like that. And I'll be just trying to kind of tell you guys some things that I'm noticing with what helps me get so much power with my flicks, and just sharing that with you guys. I do hope you guys are looking forward to the series. It should be a good one. Definitely send this video and the series to a friend of yours that sucks at flicks and probably needs to work on it. If you got sent this video's for you, man. Just do the series. You got to. Your homies need you too, man. If you are kind of struggling with dribbling the ball, you can just hit up on your D-pad if you have Bogger's Mod, or I think Rocket League even has it built in now for free play training. That way you can just kind of get into this flick position a little bit easier. Tomorrow's video we will be doing specific flicks, just so you know, but today we're just kind of looking at how the ball interacts with different ways you flip your car. You can do diagonal flips, you can do straight flips, and that's just kind of what today's episode is. So don't really worry about getting super good flicks. Just kind of play around with what these different flicks feel like, how it feels to be dribbling the ball, little things like that. We'll get into more nitty-gritty stuff a little bit later on, But just try and stay focused, especially when in free play. You really want to try and stay focused and not kind of doze off and just be doing random stuff. You actually want to be envisioning yourself working on something, or else you're just not going to be improving as efficiently. I personally am always working on my Moxie flicks because they're really cool and they're kind of hard to get down. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different types of flicks out there, and I'm excited to get into all of them with you guys. All right, so the main thing that I really want you guys to be doing today is just kind of playing around with different flicks. Maybe delaying your jump a little bit. Maybe flicking quicker than maybe you're used to. Just different things like that. Maybe you'll try and move your nose weird. Just kind of do some flicks that maybe you're not totally accustomed to. You'll probably find pretty quick a certain flick angle or a certain type of dodge that you're not very consistent with, and that's going to be probably a good one for you to keep an eye on and work on it, practice it, because consistency is huge in Rocket League. You want to be making sure you're hitting your flips the way that you mean to, flipping at the right time, or if you're doing like delayed flicks, you want to be making sure you're still having your flip. You can even like play around with like how long will you have this flip for? How long can you delay a flick for, you know? Just play around. You don't necessarily have to be getting a flick every time. You don't need to be that consistent yet. Just kind of play around a little bit. See how low you can get the ball to the ground before going for your flips. Try and hit it with different parts of your car. Just little things like that. Anyway, you can see here we're just kind of doing some random flicks. Mine might be a little more advanced than yours. That's totally fine, especially if you're a beginner at flicks. Don't be afraid to take your time and really just get used to the movement. If you're flicking like in front of the ball like this, that just means you're going to need to get the ball a little bit more on your nose. Eventually you'll start kind of getting a feel for where the ball needs to be for each one of your flicks. Like if it's back here like this, you can do a backflip. If it's more on the front of your nose, front flips are going to be your friend. Anyway, there may be some quiet parts during the video. There might just be some nice music to listen to. And yeah, for the most part, I should be talking about how I'm trying to do my flicks, what I'm doing, any weird things I'm noticing, etc. These videos are going to be mostly unscripted, so just so you kind of have that in mind. This isn't going to be a perfect video, it might not be a video for you, and if not, that's totally okay. Either way, I just wanted to share what I know with flicks, and not only share what I know, but also challenge myself to a 30-day flick challenge as well. I'll be doing this right alongside you guys, training for, at least 10 minutes every day. If you want, feel free to, do one video more than one time. And you can do this as many times as you want. I personally change up my my training, and I like to try and kind of come back to a mechanic later on in the day if I feel like if I need to. But each video should be right about, I'd say probably 10 to 14 minutes is what I'm going to shoot for the series. Like right here, I know I should be working on my flicks that are from this way, because they're kind of bad. Any direction where any flick where I like move my nose to the right and then move my nose to the left and then flip to the right, I really struggle with them, and I don't know why, but I just do. They're not as clean feeling, they're not as clean looking, but yeah. We're just kind of playing around with our flicks right now, seeing what feels like what. We'll be doing, again, really specific flicks, but today we're just kind of doing them all, doing flips, doing flicks, getting used to different motions. But yeah, I think that's about it for explaining the basics of flicks. Just make sure you're following the speed of the ball. You should be pretty comfortable with dribbling and be able to kind of flick literally at any time. You can set up like a little timer, set up a random timer for yourself just to kind of go off every now and again and try and flick on demand. That's something I've done for a while. That way you know that you're getting good control have good consistency, and you can basically flick whenever you need to. Don't be afraid to try different weird flicks too, because trying weird new things is kind of how we learn. You gotta see what works, why it doesn't work, how it works. Just gonna keep messing around with it. I know we didn't really do anything too specific today. I hope that's okay with you guys, but tomorrow we should be getting into front flips and back flip flicks. We'll just kind of be going through it pretty slowly, and we might even be able to get some nice powerful front flip flicks too. We're not going to do anything too advanced. I think about episode 5 is when you'll start to see some more advanced flicks coming in. There's going to be some that I don't know as well, obviously, because I mean I'm not pro or anything, but I do like flicks and I do want to improve at them, so we'll be breaking down as many as we can. Anyway guys, happy training. I'll see you guys tomorrow, but if you do miss a day or two, don't worry. Life gets busy. It's understandable. Just do your best to stay consistent. If you do miss a day, maybe try and get a little bit more training in another day. And just remember, it's okay to suck at Rocket League. As long as you're having fun, as long as you put in a little bit of time in, you'll get better.